In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can create a 3D animated cover for a different book or any kind of course that you sell on your site. So we're going to start out with this default cube here, and we're going to just scale it a little bit. First thing, we'll scale it in the Z-axis, and then the Y. And you can hit SZ, that's the command for scale, and we'll hit Shift, so we'll give a little more precision. That's good. Will be a skinny. Like for a free report, that kind of thing, if you have different products. One of the best ways to sort of build an email list is to have either a lead magnet. So that's kind of what we're doing. We're creating that. So this is going to be our lead magnet. So free course, if you have a course you spend a lot of time on, you're still going to need to advertise it. And I think Blender is a great way to come up with some really unique angles so you're not limited to whatever, someone else gives you. It gives you a lot more freedom and creativity. So we have this basic square. We're going to basically bevel these two edges back here. So we'll hit Tab, get into Edit mode, select the edge selection, hit that, hit Control, and then select the bottom. You'll see this one highlight, hit Shift and deselect that, and then hit Control B. And as you can see, it kind of looks off there, so we need to apply a scale to the entire object. So hit Object Mode and then hit Control A and apply scale, just like that. Good to go. So we'll go back in Edit mode. These are still selected. We'll hit Control B, and that's kind of a sharp chamfer. So we're just going to scroll the mouse wheel and add more segments to make it more round. And this is just going to make it look more like a book spine than just flat. So there we go. So we got our book cover right there. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some different materials, one for the cover and then one for the pages. So we will name this one cover, and we're going to choose a red, just make it easy to see. We're going to add another one. We will name this pages. And then if we go here, select the rendered view, we can see that everything is red. That's how we want it. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the shading editor. Actually, the base color for this white, we're going to just apply these edges and assign it to these page colors because that's ultimately what they're going to end up being. So we will go up here to edit mode and then select the faces, hit that, and then hit Control, and then just select all those faces you're going to have as the pages. And we'll go here to pages and then hit assign. There we go. So now we've kind of separated the object in the two different colors what they're going to look like. So next step we're going to do is we're going to add some image textures for the book pages and the cover. So that's going to be pretty easy. Whatever image you have for a cover, that's what we're going to use. So we're going to go up here to shader editor. And then we can select each one of these. When I change it, you see how it changes the base color. So this is going to be the cover. So we're going to set this up a little bit. We're going to add a couple nodes, hit Shift A, and we're going to add an image texture node. There we go. Then we are also going to add a mix node, not the mix RGB, the mix shader. That's what we're going to have because these are two shadings going on here. It's going to be red as well as the image texture, which hopefully is a PNG file. So then we're going to select the color into the shader from the image texture, and then the alpha to the factor. That should be all set for that. Then from here, you can basically select any cover that you want to use. So I was working on this TikTok book animation. So there we have the cover, but it's not aligned correctly. So from here, we're going to go to change this from repeat. We're going to change that to clip. And then we're going to go into the UV editor and straighten this up a little bit. And then we're going to go back over here to the pages. We're going to add the same thing. Image texture. And assign this to the base color. And I'm going to open the folder where I had the Blender basically the page texture image. There we go. So we just saw it assigned to it. So if we zoom in, we see kind of a different texture there. And we're going to change that here in just a second. But we have our two main image textures loaded up. So now we're going to go back here to the UV editor. So as you can see, these sides are already selected. So all we got to do is scale these UV maps to it. So box select all of that, hit S, X for scale in the X direction, and we'll scale that up. So, okay, we'll go back here to layout, see how that looks. So that looks closer to the proper scale. So now we just got to do the book cover. So with this selected, we'll go back here to the UV editing mode. So we'll select that. And this is going to be our cover. So we're just going to select that and scale it up. And then G for just grabbing it, repositioning it. Oops. Yeah, you can hold shift to make it a little easier, more precise. So that looks pretty close. There we go. Call that good. Now there's still some other geometry here. So if we select everything, we see these ones selected. So we're going to select this just by itself, move it out of the way, off to the side. Now we're going to select everything and see the different UV textures. So now we're going to move those off to the side, and then move this back. So now if we go back to the layout, it should be oriented correctly. So we still got this side. So we will hit this, select that face, select these faces as well. And then go back to the UV editing. So there's still some more we missed. We'll just select those, grab them, move off to the side. There we go, that looks correct. Except for this, we still got to rotate this 180 degrees. It's upside down currently. So we will do that. R 180. There we go. So there we go. We got our finished book. And all we got to do is do some simple animations to it and then export it. But before I do that, I'm going to change the default color for this cover to match the red on the image that we just used. So we'll go one more time back to the shader. So the base color, it's still a close red. We'll see how this looks. So there we go, that looks pretty good. So next thing we got to do is just add a couple lights so we can see the edges of the pages. So we're going to add an area light, hit GZ, move that up, then hit R, we're going to give it a little rotation. Then we're going to move this back. And then we can just hit Shift D, duplicate this. And then we're going to crank these up a little bit too. So this is only 10 watts, which is pretty low. Increase this. Make this one 100 watts. And we're going to add one more light. We'll make this one 300. So we're just about done. So if you want to see what it's going to look like when it's rendered, hit the 0 on your numpad. That's a little shortcut for it. So that's pretty good. But I'm going to move this camera up just a little bit. So you can just select the camera, hit G, Z, and then go back to it. And if you want to kind of pan around, you can hit R twice on the keyboard, and that will allow you to kind of look wherever. And then hit 0, get back out of it. So that's pretty close, and you can kind of just play with this, tweak it however you want. So all we got to do is make a quick little animation. So we're going to have it just basically turn 90 degrees over about 130 frames. So we're going to put a first keyframe there at frame number 1 and just hit I for location rotation. And then we'll go to frame 132 and then we'll hit R, Z, 90, and we'll put one more keyframe there, location rotation. And we can just play that, and we'll change the frames. So there we go. That looks pretty good. So it's just going to be a simple slow animation, and we're also going to have a transparent background, so you can just basically use this as an overlay on any of your videos. So when you're just talking, naturally you can just basically have a shout out or call out to it, and just basically have that as a little clip you can just put right in your video. And I think they look pretty cool. And my other video, I'll show you how quickly you can just change this. It's very simple. So whatever different book, you have different PLR products or different courses, you can change that just within a few seconds. So to make this the right settings, we'll throw in the bloom. We got to make sure this film is transparent. And then the output, the format is default to the PNG, but we need FF MPEG video right there. So then to make it, a couple more things here. So within the encoding, we're going to go container, QuickTime, video codec, QuickTime as well. And then we got to make sure we have RGBA selected, A for the alpha. So that's what's going to make it real easy. So whatever video editor you use, you know, Adobe or DaVinci Resolve, you can just basically just drag and drop this right in your video and it'll look correct. So it looks pretty cool. So we're all set. All we got to do, go up here, hit render, and then render animation. And there you go. You have your little ebook with your own custom cover on it and this cool little 3D animation that you can just use wherever you want in your video. And I'm seeing more and more people with different motion graphics and stuff like that with TikTok videos as well as YouTube shorts, stuff like that. You know, there's people have short attention spans online, so any way that you can use to kind of draw them in, keep them watching your content, and then hopefully liking them, subscribing to your video. So if you guys liked it, hit that like button, and leave a comment below if you like these kind of marketing Blender tutorials, if you're trying to work on your own small business. There's a lot to learn about Blender. I'm not going to cover, you know, character animation or anything like that, but, you know, little simple stuff that people can use to help grow their channel. So for beginners. So yeah, that's about all for now. Thanks for watching.